This is Robert with Pioneer Smokehouses, and today we're going to do the wrap-up review of the Masterbuilt charcoal bullet smoker. Now I have to be honest with you guys, I tried to do a script for this video and I failed miserably. So what I did was I reconfigured what I was doing into a series of bullet points and what I'd like to talk about, and we're just going to go through it and do like I always do and wing it. I consider you guys my friends, and so I think we can just have a talk. So first of all, let's talk about the basic features. This is a simple smoker on a vertical cylinder design similar to a barrel. You have your basic lid, which includes your thermometer and your adjustable vent, and then you have two of the grill grates, and then a drip pan, which I'll show you from the inside. And it's actually considered a water pan, but I always call it a drip pan because I don't use water in my smokers. And then we have a fire bowl for the charcoal and the removable lid. And of course, this smoker has legs and has the handles, which are two on the side and then one on the top, and these handles are very useful. I think every smoker should have them. That pretty much covers the basic features and design. Now this is just a standard powder coat steel with a black glossy coat on it, and the coating like this is very good for rust resistance and just general use. Now of course I could give this smoker a little bath and that would help out, but you know, who's got time to clean the outside of the smoker when you're busy smoking in it? And besides, it just gets dirty again. Now, the assembly for this smoker, which I did a introduction video and kind of did the slideshow on that, the assembly for this smoker really only takes about 20 minutes when you're not trying to film it. So it's really quick and easy to do. If you want the specifications and some more information on the smoker, check out the review article that's located in the top of the description, and that'll give you all the detailed specifications. Also, if you just want to see what my latest post is, you can just go to pioneersmokehouses.com, and the last 6 posts will be right there on the front page. Now, let's talk a little bit about performance. This smoker performed really well, but it did have a little bit of a learning curve. And the main reason is because the way the charcoal pan sits in the bottom, there's an air gap all the way around it. And I'll show you a picture here and you can see that ring of light that runs around there. And that gap allows the charcoal to draw as much air in as it wants. And if you fill it all the way full and light the whole pan, it will just get out of control in temperature. Not only is that bad for your food, but it's also bad for your smoker because you don't want to overheat any of this. That can cause the paint to start to crack, and then you'll get rusting like you would in a standard offset charcoal smoker, where the firebox actually ends up getting rust on the top very commonly. Now, the way to solve that problem with the fire is to build in some kind of a minion method. I personally prefer using a charcoal snake, and if you do a few test cooks, depending on your temperature in the environment, you'll be able to dial it in to whatever temperature you want. At the current temperature outside, normally about 7 pieces of charcoal, so that would be 3 across the bottom and 2 and 2 on top of that, will get me to about 250, 275. In the summertime, that would have brought me up into the 300s, which would have been way too hot. So I was going with a 6 to get where I want to be. My typical goal temperature is in between 250 and 275 for an extended amount of time, depending on what I'm cooking, of course. Let's go ahead and move on to modifications. Now, I haven't done hardly anything to this smoker. I did throw in a thermometer in the top to verify the thermometer here from the manufacturer because I was a little concerned that it was off, and I discovered that it was off. So either it needs to be calibrated, and I haven't really played with that, or just plain replace it with something like this, something that's a more known, trusted thermometer. Remember that if the thing gets too long, it will bump into your food and that will give you a misreading. So you want to make sure to avoid getting one with a long probe end on it. As far as the other thing that I did was I added a grate to the charcoal pan. And I'll try to get a picture of that here, but basically by putting the charcoal directly in the bottom of the pan, a lot of the charcoal on the very bottom wasn't burning completely, and I felt like it was getting a little bit of a dirty burn. By lifting it up just a little bit, I was able to get a complete burn of all the charcoal, and I think it was a little cleaner, but I'm not positive about that. For the grate that I used something out of another grill that I had laying around, and when I needed another one for a project that I have upcoming, I went to the store and found that same grill on closeout, and it turned out that it was cheaper than actually buying the grate. I will put a link for a grate that you can buy on Amazon that will be very affordable. But again, if you look around at your big box stores, you might just find a closeout or something that might be a little bit more price friendly. As far as the taste and flavor goes, this is traditionally a charcoal smoker. You will get the flavor for what your fuel really is. So if you use charcoal briquettes, you will get a consistent temperature and a consistent flavor that you can duplicate over and over again without issue. And really, as long as you're careful and make sure that you burn it clean, your recipe will really be the star of the show. Now, if you want a cleaner, more traditional barbecue flavor, of course, use lumped charcoal. It does burn a little bit hotter, and temperature control is going to be a little bit of a problem. But once you get enough practice and keep that dialed in, or making adjustments during the actual cook, you'll be really happy with the flavor results. Finally, if you want a smokier flavor for a hot smoke, you'll want to add blocks of wood chunks to the top. And in some of my videos, you'll see that I will position a few blocks of wood chunks on top of the pile. I like to do that near the beginning of my smoke because I like to get that flavor on the food and then kind of cook it in a little bit. Also, a small piece of wood at the beginning of your charcoal snake or your pile, whatever you like to call it, will help with lighting it, and that just gives you a good kickstart when you dump your charcoal chimney full of lit charcoal at the beginning of your snake. Now, I made a quick pros and cons list, and I also put that on the website, but I'll go ahead and go through that really quick with you. The first is simple assembly. This could not be any easier. Ease of use. If you just want to keep it really basic and you want to throw in a small amount of charcoal and just add a little bit as you cook, it's really easy to use, even for a beginner. It's lightweight and portable, and this is one of my favorite features of this smoker. Durability. As long as you handle it with care, it's going to be durable and last for a long time. Also, keep it generally clean and out of the rain. Versatility. You can do so many things with this. Not only can you do your traditional hot cooks or hot smokes, you can also raise the pan and you can use it as a grill when you're out camping. I'll link that video that I did as a grilling method earlier in the series. The affordability just has to be one of my favorite features of this smoker. You can always pick it up for under $100, but sometimes it can go on sale for as low as half of that price. Unfortunately, every smoker has its cons, and this one has a couple of glaring ones. No adjustable intake vent is a real problem for this smoker, which I mentioned earlier. Now, again, as long as you compensate for that with your technique, you'll be fine. Small charcoal capacity. This charcoal smoker only can hold about 8 pounds of charcoal briquettes. That's okay if you're only planning on doing 6 hours of cooking, but much more than that, that's going to be an issue. And then the lack of insulation. Depending on what you're smoking and what time of year, this might or might not be a problem for you, but a simple welding blanket or even a Big Chief blanket will easily go around this thing and increase the thermal mass of the smoker. Also, consider putting lava rocks inside of the water pan, and that will increase the thermal mass also. Once they get hot, it really makes the smoker retain heat better, and also when you open and close the lid real quick, it recovers temperature faster. In conclusion, the Masterbuilt charcoal bullet smoker is definitely something that you should consider buying because of its compact size and its low price. However, if you're a more hardcore smoker and you want to do this as a real serious hobby, I would recommend that you consider something more along the lines of the Cuisinart COS 118, or consider the ultimate is the Weber Smoky Mountain vertical charcoal smoker. Now, the Weber is a little bit more expensive than the Cuisinart, but its air control is hard to beat. That pretty much covers our review and wrap up of the Masterbuilt charcoal bullet smoker. If you have any comments about this smoker, go ahead and place them below, or questions or suggestions for what you would like to see cooked on it. Now, this smoker is going to get more videos, and some of them are going to be some modification videos, but those will just kind of come out over time as I feel that I have something important to add. Again, thanks for watching, and happy smoking!